Good morning and welcome to Reader's Retreat. I'm Paul, and this is uh, I'm going to be talking about my poll for August. I'm trying to get 4 books for my birthday-a-thon, and I already got 2, so I need 2 more. And these is what people get to pick from. They get to pick from Jonathan Mayberry. I never read Jonathan Mayberry. This would be the first time I read it, and this is Rage. And I guess it's the second. I think it's the second series of Joe Ledger. I think that's what I heard. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It goes, a small island off the coast of Korea is torn apart by a bioweapon. What drives everyone, men, women, and children, insane with murderous rage? The people behind the attack want Korea reunified or destroyed. No middle ground, no mercy. Soon Japan, China, and the United States are pushed to the brink of war, while terrorists threaten to release the rage bioweapon in a wave of pure destructive slaughter. Joe Ledger leads his newly formed band of international troubleshooters in their first mission to stop the terror cell, fighting alongside agents from North and South Korea. With the lives of billions at stake, Ledger is willing to bring his own brand of terror to this frightening new war. So that's what Rage is about, and that's going to be one of the books you get to vote on. Another book that you get to vote on is by Robert Brinza, and it is a Detective Erica Foster novel. And I don't know where this falls into since there's been 2 million Erica Foster books sold. Uh, oh, this is the number. This is the number. It says the #1 best-selling thriller series. So, but this is the Night Stalker right there, and that says, if the Night Stalker is watching, you are already dead. In the dead of sweltering hot summer night, Detective Erica Foster is called to a murder scene. The victim, a doctor, is found suffocated in bed. His wrists are bound and his eyes are bulging through a clear plastic bag tied tight over his head. A few days later, another victim is found dead, in exactly the same circumstances. As Erica and her team start digging deeper, they discover a calculated serial killer, stalking their victims before choosing the right moment to strike. The victims are all single men with very private lives. Why are their pasts shrouded in secrecy? And what links them to the killer? As a heat wave descends upon London, Erica will do everything to stop the Night Stalker before the body count rises, even if it means risking her job. But the victims might not be the only ones being watched. Erica's own life could be on the line, and that's the Night Stalker. Give me a second. Okay. The next book, the third book that you get to choose from, is one by one of my favorite authors, and it's Kathy Reichs. Kathy Reichs does the Tipper Sprinting novels. This is Cold Cold Bones. This is one of the newer ones. When was it done? Uh, 2022, so it was done last year. And it says, winter has come to North Carolina, and with it a drop in crime. Freed from a heavy work schedule, Temp Brennan is content to dote on her daughter, Katie, who has finally returned to civilian life from the army. But when mother and daughter meet at Temp's place one night, they find a box on the back porch. Inside, a very fresh human eyeball. GPS coordinates etched into the eyeball lead to a Benedictine monastery, where an equally macabre discovery awaits soon after Timp examines a mummified corpse in a state park, and her anxiety deepens. There seems to be no pattern to the subsequent killings uncovered, except that each mimics in some way a homicide that Timp has been called in to analyze earlier in her career. Who or what is targeting her and why? Helping Timp search for answers is Detective Skinny Slidell, retired but still volunteering with the CMPD, Cold Case Unit, and still displaying his gallows humor. Also pulled into the mystery, Andrew Ryan, Timp's Montreal-based beau, now working as a private detective. And that's Cold Bone. Cold Bones, sorry, by Kathy Wright. That's the third one that you get to choose. Another one is from Karen Dion. Uh, this is the Marsh King's daughter, right there. Excuse me. And it says, at last, Helena has the normal life she craved. A loving husband, two adorable daughters, a business that pays the bills. But when her father escapes from a nearby prison, she realizes she was a fool to think she could put her dark past behind her. Helena has a secret. She is the product of an abduction. Her mother was kidnapped as a teenager by Helena's father and held captive in a cabin surrounded by swamp in Michigan's upper uh, peninsula. Helena was born 2 years later, and as she grew up, she had no idea that anything was wrong. She loved her rugged childhood, and despite her father's sometimes brutal behavior, she loved him too, until she learned precisely how monstrous he could be. Now a young mother, Helena has hidden her past so thoroughly that it, even her husband has no idea of the truth. But after her father kills two prison guards and vanishes into the marshland, he knows better than anyone. Helena knows the police don't stand a chance of finding them. Only one has the skills to catch the notorious child abductor and, and survivalist the world calls the Marsh King, because only one person has ever trained because only one person was ever trained by him, his daughter. Unless that is he finds her first. So there's the Marsh King daughter. Okay. The last one that you get to vote for is by Rebecca Ross, A River Enchanted. Right there. And this one says it starts with a letter and an ominous journey across dark waters 10 years after being sent away to the mainland to become a bard. Jack Tamerlane is summoned home to Candace, but his return is not a joyous one. Girls are going missing from the island, and Adara, future leader of the clan, believes Jack is the only one who can find them. Enchantments run deep on Cadence, Candace. Gossip is carried by the wind. Plaid shawls can be as strong as armor, and the smallest cut of a knife can instill fathomless fear. The elemental spirits that dwell in every breath of air, splash of water, blade of grass, and flicker of fire find mirth in the lives of the humans. Kidnapping the Tamlin girls is a step too far, though, and it is only through Bard's music that the entangled spirits can be summoned to explain where the girls are. So that's a river enchanted. So those are going to be the five that you get to vote on, and to see which one's going to be read in August. And I hope everything is going to work out great. And you guys have a good one. And I'll be talking to everybody later.